The auction house smelled of old money and jasmine. Maya Chen adjusted her black velvet dress, feeling out of place among Manhattan's elite. 6 years building her photography studio from nothing had earned her this invitation to document the Cancer Research Coalition benefit, but belonging was different from being invited. Camera ready, she scanned the crowd through her viewfinder. Then she saw him. The lens slipped in her sweating palm. Daniel Reeves stood by the bar, older but unmistakable. The scar above his left eyebrow still caught the light. Her finger froze on the shutter. "Maya?" His voice hit like a punch. She lowered the camera. "Daniel." For years since he'd vanished without explanation. For years of unanswered calls and a returned engagement ring. "You're the photographer tonight? And you're what, a guest?" "A donor. Executive director, actually." He stepped closer. The crowd noise faded. "I took over last year." Her laugh came out sharp. "Of course you did. Always landing on your feet." "Maya, I know you have questions." "I stopped having questions 3 years ago." A woman in emerald silk appeared at his side, looping her arm through his. Late 20s, perfect smile, expensive jewelry. "Darling, they're starting the auction." Her eyes assessed Maya with surgical precision. "Who's this?" "An old friend. Maya Chen, photographer." "Maya, this is Victoria Lang, my fiancé." The word detonated in Maya's chest. She forced her professional smile. "Congratulations." Victoria's grip on Daniel tightened. "We should take our seats." As they walked away, Daniel glanced back. The look in his eyes said everything and nothing. Maya's phone buzzed. "Unknown number." "He didn't tell you the truth." "Meet me in the West Gallery in 10 minutes. Come alone." Her hands trembled as she deleted the message. Then she headed for the West Gallery. The West Gallery was empty, paintings of dead philanthropists watching from gold frames. Maya checked her watch. Midnight approached. Footsteps echoed behind her. Victoria appeared from the shadows, alone. Her perfect composure had cracked. "You loved him." "It wasn't a question." "Once," Maya said. "A lifetime ago." "He still has your picture." "Hidden in his office desk, bottom drawer under financial reports." Victoria's voice shook. "I found it 6 months ago." Maya's throat tightened. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because he's dying." The room tilted. "What?" "Stage 4 lymphoma. 18 months since diagnosis. He has maybe 6 months left, probably less." Victoria's mascara had started to run. The foundation is his legacy project. Everything he couldn't fix in his own body, he's trying to fix in the world. "That doesn't explain why he left me." "He left because he got diagnosed 2 weeks before your wedding." Victoria pulled out her phone, showed Maya a medical record. "He didn't want you to watch him die. Didn't want you to become his nurse instead of his wife." Maya's knees buckled. She grabbed a nearby pedestal. "That's not his choice to make." "I told him the same thing." Victoria wiped her eyes. "I'm not his fiancé because we're in love. I'm his hospice nurse. This engagement is cover so people don't ask questions about why I'm always with him." "Why are you helping him?" "Because he saved my brother's life 5 years ago. Bone marrow donation, perfect match, no hesitation. My brother has 2 kids now. I owe Daniel everything." She paused. "But he doesn't love me." "He loves you. And he's running out of time." Maya's mind raced. "If I go to him now, if we have these last months together, it ends the same way. I watch him die." "Yes." "That's what he was trying to spare me from." "Yes." "But it's still my choice to make." Victoria nodded slowly. "That's why I texted you." The gallery door opened. Daniel stood there, pale and furious. "Victoria, what did you do?" "What you were too proud to do." Victoria walked past him. "You have 5 minutes before I come back." The door clicked shut. Daniel and Maya faced each other across years of silence and lies. "You had no right," he said quietly. "You had no right to decide for me." Maya's voice broke. "For years, Daniel. For years I thought you stopped loving me. I never stopped." He moved closer. "That was the problem. Loving you while knowing I was sentenced, it was torture. Letting you go was supposed to be mercy. It was cruelty." "I know." His hand reached for hers, trembling. "I know that now." She let him take it. His skin was cold, papery. Proof of everything Victoria had said. How much time? Honestly? The doctors say 4 to 6 months. I feel it speeding up. And you were going to die without telling me. I was going to die knowing you were free to love someone healthy. Someone with a future. You arrogant bastard. Tears streamed down her face. I don't want someone healthy. I want you. He pulled her close. She felt how thin he'd become under the expensive suit. If we do this, he whispered against her hair, you have to promise me something. What? When it gets bad, when I'm not myself anymore, you'll let me go. No machines, no desperate measures. You'll remember me like this. She pulled back to look at him. That's asking too much. It's all I have left to ask. The door opened. Victoria stood there with security guards. I'm sorry, she said. But there's been a situation. Someone called the board. They know about the medical fraud. Daniel went white. What medical fraud? The foundation's insurance policy. You claimed you were in perfect health to get coverage for the executive director position. If they find out you have terminal cancer, they'll audit everything. Every grant, every donation. Years of work destroyed. Maya's heart stopped. Who called them? Victoria's phone buzzed. She looked at the screen and her face drained of color. It was Marcus Chen. Your brother. Maya's studio apartment smelled like coffee and darkroom chemicals. Marcus sat on her couch, defiant. You sabotaged the foundation, Maya said. Her voice was ice. You could destroy everything Daniel built. Good. Marcus stood. He destroyed you first. That's not your decision to make. Someone had to protect you. Her brother's eyes blazed. For years ago, you were hospitalized. Depression so severe you couldn't get out of bed. I watched you disappear because of him. And now he's dying. I know. I hired an investigator 2 days after you mentioned photographing this event. Found out everything. Marcus grabbed her shoulders. Maya, he's using you. The dying man act, Victoria playing messenger, it's manipulation. You don't know him. I know men like him. They take and take until there's nothing left. He pulled out his phone. The board meeting is tomorrow morning. I can still stop this. I can withdraw the complaint. What's the price? You walk away tonight. Block his number, refuse his calls. Let him face this alone like he left you alone. Maya felt something crack inside her chest. That's cruel. That's justice. No. She stepped back. That's revenge. And it makes you just like the thing you hate. Marcus's face hardened. If you choose him, I can't support this. I can't watch you break again. Then don't watch. Maya, get out. He left without another word. The door slam echoed. Her phone rang. Daniel. They moved the board meeting to tonight, he said. His breathing sounded labored. Emergency session in 1 hour. I'm coming. No. If you're there, it looks worse. Like I'm using personal connections to influence the board. I don't care how it looks. I care. A pause. Maya, Victoria told me what your brother did. I understand if you need distance. Stop protecting me from my own choices. Someone has to. Daniel Reeves, if you push me away again, I swear I will never forgive you. Silence. Then a sound that might have been a laugh or a sob. Okay. But if this goes badly, if they dismantle the foundation, that's on me. Not you. We'll face it together. She arrived at the foundation offices 20 minutes later. Board members filed past, avoiding eye contact. Through the conference room glass, she saw Daniel sitting alone at a long table. Victoria appeared beside her. They're voting now. What are his chances? Honestly, maybe 30%. The insurance fraud is serious. Even if they believe his intentions were pure, the legal liability is massive. There has to be something we can do. Victoria's expression shifted. There might be. But you'll hate it. Tell me. The board needs a scapegoat. Someone to take the fall so the foundation survives. Victoria met her eyes. I could confess. Say I falsified Daniel's medical records without his knowledge. I'm the one who processed his insurance application. That's a felony. You'd lose your nursing license. Possibly go to jail. I know. Why would you do that? Because my brother is alive because of Daniel. Because some debts can never be repaid, only honored. Victoria's voice steadied. And because you love him. Real love, not obligation. He deserves to spend his last months with someone who chose him, not someone who owes him. Maya's throat closed. I can't let you. It's not your choice either. Victoria smiled sadly. Turns out everyone in this story is too busy making sacrifices for each other. She walked toward the conference room. Wait, Maya called. Victoria turned. What if there's another way? What if Daniel steps down voluntarily, admits the medical fraud, returns his salary, but frames it as protecting the foundation's mission? The board still faces lawsuits from insurance companies. Not if we settle privately. My photography studio has money saved. It's not much, but combined with Daniel's assets, we could cover the insurance premiums he shouldn't have received. Victoria considered this. It might work. But Daniel would never accept your money. Then we don't tell him until after. The conference room door opened. A board member emerged, face grim. Miss Chen? Mr. Reeves is asking for you. Maya entered. Daniel looked smaller under the fluorescent lights. They voted, he said. Unanimous decision to remove me as executive director, effective immediately. No criminal charges if I repay the insurance costs and resign quietly. How much? $200,000. I have about half in savings. Maya's studio fund was $90,000. Not enough. I'll figure it out, Daniel continued. Sell my apartment, liquidate investments. It'll take time, but I can cover it. Or, Victoria said from the doorway, you accept help from people who love you. She placed a check on the table. $100,000. My brother's life insurance payout. I've been saving it for something meaningful. She looked at Maya. This qualifies. Daniel stared at the check. I can't take this. You can and you will. Victoria's voice was steel. Because pride is a luxury you no longer have. And because Maya is about to match it. Maya pulled out her phone, initiated the transfer from her studio account. There. Done. Daniel's composure finally shattered. He put his head in his hands. I don't deserve either of you. No, Maya agreed. You don't. But here we are anyway. Victoria excused herself. Maya and Daniel sat in the empty conference room as night pressed against the windows. What happens now? He asked. Now you come home with me. We figure out the next 6 months together. She took his hand. No more lies, no more noble sacrifices. Just truth. Even when the truth is ugly? Especially then. They left the building together. Outside, snow had started falling. Manhattan glittered under white. Maya's phone buzzed. Marcus. I saw the bank transfer. I still think you're making a mistake. But I love you. Always. She didn't respond. Some bridges had to burn. Daniel stumbled on the sidewalk. Maya caught him. Dizzy spell, he said. They're getting more frequent. How frequent? Daily now. She hailed a cab, helped him inside. As they drove through the city, he leaned against her shoulder. Thank you, he whispered. For what? For being stubborn enough to love a dying man. She kissed his forehead. Thank you for finally letting me. The cab stopped at her building. As they climbed the stairs to her apartment, Daniel's phone rang. He checked the screen and went pale. It's my oncologist. At midnight. His hand shook. They only call this late with bad news. Daniel answered the phone on speaker. Dr. Patel's voice filled Maya's small kitchen. Mr. Reeves, your latest scans show unexpected results. Maya gripped the counter. Daniel's face had gone blank, bracing for impact. The tumors have responded to the experimental treatment. Not remission, but significant reduction. We're talking 30 to 40% shrinkage. Silence. I don't understand, Daniel finally said. You told me 6 months. I told you 6 months without intervention. You've been on the trial medication for 8 weeks. It's working beyond our projections. Papers rustled in the background. I'm not promising a cure, but we might be looking at 2 years instead of 6 months. Maybe more if this trajectory continues. Maya's legs gave out. She slid down the cabinet to the floor. 2 years, Daniel repeated, like the words were in a foreign language. I want you in for weekly monitoring. This is uncharted territory. But Mr. Reeves, this is the best news I've delivered in my career. After the call ended, Daniel stood frozen. "Say something," Maya whispered. "I gave up everything for 6 months." His voice cracked. "I left you, destroyed my career, planned my funeral. All for 6 months. And now you have more time." "Do I?" He turned to her. "The foundation job is gone. My reputation is destroyed. Your brother hates me. I took $100,000 from Victoria and $90,000 from you based on a death sentence that might have been wrong." Maya stood, legs shaking. "So you're angry that you might live?" "I'm angry that I made everyone suffer for nothing." "It wasn't for nothing." She crossed to him. "It brought us back together. Through lies and manipulation. Through love and sacrifice." Her hands framed his face. "Daniel, 2 years is a gift. Don't waste it drowning in guilt. What if the treatment stops working? What if next month's scans show it spreading again? Then we deal with that next month." She kissed him softly. "But tonight, right now, you're here. We're here. That's enough." He pulled her close. They stood that way for a long time, breathing together. Over the next 3 weeks, a new rhythm emerged. Daniel started chemotherapy at a gentler pace. Maya photographed weddings and corporate events, her studio recovering from the financial hit. Victoria visited twice weekly, bringing medical updates and terrible coffee. Marcus didn't call. Then one frozen January morning, Maya's studio door opened. Her brother stepped inside, looking older than his 35 years. "I came to apologize," he said without preamble. Maya set down her camera. "I'm listening. I was protecting the wrong thing. I wanted to shield you from pain, but pain isn't the enemy. Loneliness is." He pulled an envelope from his coat. "I spoke to the foundation board. They're willing to create a consulting position for Daniel. Part-time, no executive authority, but enough to keep him connected to the work." "Marcus. I'm still not sure about him. I still think he handled everything wrong 4 years ago." Her brother's eyes were wet. "But I see how you look at him. Like he's air. And I can't keep trying to suffocate you to keep you safe." Maya hugged him. He held her tight. "There's more," Marcus said. "I matched your donation to the foundation. Anonymous gift, restricted fund for cancer research. If Daniel's treatment worked, maybe it can work for others." "You're a good man." "I'm trying to be." That night, Maya made dinner at her apartment. Daniel arrived with flowers and the day's scan results. "Stable," he announced. "No new growth, existing tumors still shrinking." They celebrated with cheap wine and pasta. As they cleaned dishes, Daniel's phone rang again. Victoria. Crying. "My brother relapsed," she said through sobs. "The cancer came back. They're saying weeks, not months." Daniel's face went gray. "We're coming." At the hospital, Victoria sat beside her brother's bed. Ryan was 42, hollow-eyed but conscious. His 2 daughters slept in chairs nearby, 8 and 10 years old. "Hey Danny," Ryan said weakly. "Heard you're beating this thing." "Trying to." Daniel gripped his hand. "You beat it once. You can do it again." "We both know that's not true." Ryan glanced at his sleeping daughters. "But I got 5 good years because of your marrow. 5 years of dance recitals and birthday parties and bedtime stories. That's more than fair." Victoria broke down. Maya held her while Daniel sat with Ryan, 2 men bound by blood and borrowed time. At dawn, Ryan slipped into a coma. The doctors said it would be hours, maybe a day. Maya found Daniel on the hospital roof, staring at the sunrise. "He gave me his bone marrow," Daniel said. 5 years ago, perfect match. And now he's dying while I get to live. That's not how this works. Isn't it? Someone always pays the price. He turned to her. "What if my extra time comes at someone else's expense? What if the universe balances the scales?" "The universe doesn't work on a barter system." "How do you know?" She didn't have an answer. Ryan died that afternoon with his daughters holding his hands. Victoria was stoic through the funeral arrangements, mechanical and efficient. Only when they lowered the casket did she collapse. A week later, she appeared at Maya's studio. "I can't do this anymore," Victoria said. "Be around Daniel, watch him improve while my brother is gone. It's not fair and it's not rational, but I need distance." "I understand." "Do you?" "Because I feel like a monster. You feel like a human." There's a difference. Maya squeezed her hand. Take all the time you need. We'll be here when you're ready. Victoria left. Her absence created a void. Daniel deteriorated emotionally. Survivor's guilt crushed him. He stopped eating properly, missed chemotherapy appointments. The next scan showed marginal tumor growth. You're giving up. Maya confronted him in her apartment. Ryan died, so you're deciding you don't deserve to live? Maybe I don't. That's not your call. Her voice rose. You think dying honors his sacrifice? It spits on it. He gave you that marrow so you could live, not so you could waste away from guilt. What's the point, Maya? Everyone around me suffers. You drained your savings. Marcus had to swallow his pride. Victoria lost her brother. The foundation is permanently damaged. All for what? So I can have a few more years of causing pain. She slapped him. The crack echoed in the small room. Daniel's hand went to his reddening cheek. The point, Maya said quietly, is that life doesn't require a point. It just requires living. And if you quit now, if you let guilt kill you faster than cancer ever could, then I walked away from my brother and my savings for nothing. Maybe you should have kept the money. Maybe you should stop being a coward. They stared at each other. Then Daniel's knees buckled. Maya caught him as he fell. I'm scared, he whispered. I'm so scared of failing everyone again. Then fail forward. Fail toward living, not toward dying. She held him on the floor while he cried. Outside, the city hummed with indifferent life. Over the next month, Daniel slowly came back. Therapy helped. Resumed chemotherapy helped more. The tumors stabilized again. Spring arrived. Central Park bloomed green and reckless. Maya's phone rang. Unknown number. Miss Chen? This is Memorial Sloan Kettering. We have a patient here asking for you. She won't give her name, but she said you'd understand. Room 847. Maya's heart stopped. She knew before she arrived. Victoria lay in the hospital bed, fur in her arm, eyes sunken. Pancreatic cancer, she said calmly. Stage 4. Inoperable. They give me 3 months. Victoria's hospital room smelled like antiseptic and defeat. Maya stood frozen in the doorway. How long have you known? She finally asked. 6 weeks. Same symptoms my brother had. I'm a nurse, I knew what it meant. Victoria's laugh was hollow. Ironic, right? I spent years caring for dying people. Never thought I'd be one of them. Does Daniel know? No. And you won't tell him. Victoria's voice hardened. He's finally healing. I won't be the reason he spirals again. He'll find out eventually. By then I'll be gone. She gestured to the chair. Sit. I didn't call you here for pity. Maya sat. Then why? Because I need you to promise me something. Victoria pulled a folder from her bedside table. I set up a trust fund. For my brother's daughters. But I need an executor, someone who'll make sure the money goes to their education, their futures. Victoria. It's $250,000. Life insurance plus my savings. I have no other family. Maya, please. This is all I have left to give them. Maya took the folder with shaking hands. Of course. But you have to let Daniel say goodbye. He deserves that. He deserves peace more. They argued for an hour. Victoria won by simple attrition. She was dying and she knew it. Maya left the hospital carrying the weight of another secret. At home, Daniel was cooking dinner, humming off-key. His last scan had shown continued improvement. He looked healthier than he had in months. You're quiet, he said, setting down plates. Bad day. Just tired. They ate in comfortable silence. After dishes, Daniel pulled out a small box. I bought this 4 years ago, he said. The week before my diagnosis. Before everything fell apart. Inside was a ring. Simple platinum band, single diamond. Maya's breath caught. I'm not asking you to marry me, Daniel continued quickly. Not yet. Maybe not ever if you don't want to. But I needed you to know that even when I pushed you away, even when I was convinced I was doing the right thing, part of me always held on to this. Held on to us. She slipped the ring on. Perfect fit. Ask me, she whispered. What? Ask me to marry you. Maya, I'm still sick. The cancer could come back. You'd be signing up for uncertainty. Life is uncertainty. Ask me anyway. He knelt, awkward and earnest. Maya Chen, will you marry me knowing I might break your heart? Yes. Will you marry me knowing I'll never let you push me away again? Yes. They kissed in her tiny kitchen, two broken people choosing hope over safety. The wedding was small. City Hall, Marcus as witness, a handful of friends. Victoria sent her congratulations from hospice. She deteriorated fast, refusing visitors. I want to see her, Daniel insisted. She asked for privacy. I don't care. She saved my life twice. Once with the truth about us, once with her money. I'm not letting her die alone. They showed up at hospice unannounced. Victoria looked skeletal, barely conscious. But her eyes focused when she saw them. You weren't supposed to come, she rasped. When has that ever stopped me? Daniel sat beside her bed. Thank you. For everything. Don't. I'm not a saint. No. You're better. You're human. He took her hand. And you're not alone. Not anymore. Maya stood on Victoria's other side. Your nieces are coming tomorrow. I called their guardian. They want to see you. Something in Victoria's face cracked. I look terrible. They won't care. The girls came the next day. 8 and 10, wearing their Sunday dresses. They climbed carefully onto Victoria's bed, telling her about school and friends and everything she'd miss. Victoria died 3 days later with Maya and Daniel in the room. Her last words were to her nieces in a voicemail. Be brave. Be kind. Remember your father loved you. And remember I did too. The funeral was larger than expected. Patients she'd cared for, families she'd helped, lives she'd touched. Daniel gave the eulogy, his voice steady. Victoria taught me that sacrifice isn't about grand gestures. It's about showing up when it's hard. Telling the truth when lies are easier. Loving people even when you know you'll lose them. He looked at Maya in the front row. She gave me back my life. Not by saving it, but by refusing to let me waste it. Spring turned to summer. Daniel's scans remained stable. Maya's studio thrived. They moved into a larger apartment together, filled it with photographs and secondhand furniture. Marcus visited monthly, slowly warming to Daniel. Victoria's nieces came for dinner every Sunday, spending the trust fund wisely on college savings and music lessons. One August evening, Maya and Daniel walked through Central Park. 2 years since the charity gala. 1 year since the wedding. I got the latest test results, Daniel said. Maya's heart clenched. And? Remission. Full remission. Dr. Patel used the word miracle. She stopped walking. You're serious. Completely. The tumors are gone. I still need monitoring, could relapse anytime, but right now, today, I'm cancer-free. Maya started crying. Then laughing. Then both at once. Daniel pulled her close. We made it. Against every odd, we actually made it. What do we do now? Now. He smiled. We live. Messily, imperfectly, gratefully. We honor everyone who gave us this chance by not wasting a single day of it. They sat on a park bench, watching the sun set over Manhattan. Around them, life continued. Joggers passed, children played, the world spun on indifferent and beautiful. Do you think Victoria knew? Maya asked. That you'd make it? I think she hoped. And hope was enough. Maya leaned against his shoulder. I love you. I love you too. Even knowing we're both going to die eventually. Especially knowing that. They sat until the stars came out, two survivors learning to live in a world that had tried so hard to take them. The cancer might return. Other tragedies might strike. But tonight, they had each other and the gift of uncertain time. And for now, that was everything. The end.